Tomb Raider opens with a girl running and was chased by some guys. She hid, and they went another way. As she tried going her way, she matched a stick which made a sound and draw those guys' attention back into chasing her. She met a dead end, which prompted her to make a great leap. Angrily, the people chasing her went back. Climbing through a big wall, she found a house of the Jaguar. She informed Roth about the house, and he pinpointed her location, saying he will meet her there. She then entered inside. On entering, she made a great slip which stopped just near a spiked pit. Wanting to cross through a bridge, she noticed it was weak, so she used a rope instead. After successfully crossing the bridge, she fell into the ground filled with water. Trying to navigate her way, an alligator chased her. Just after coming out from the water, the alligator grabbed her leg. She stabbed it and was able to let loose. She then entered into a house, admiring the beauty. Then she heard footsteps. It was Roth. They both left with a carving. They both were talking about wine tasting until Lara saw a gun pointed to her head. They said the box will only bring death and destruction, and they were told to leave it or they will be killed. Roth doesn't seem to believe that. Lara think they are protectors. A fight broke out which saw Lara and Roth taking all of them down. The next scene then show Lara defeating her opponent in a street fight. Going back, Jonah called her asking when she is coming back home and also telling her about the death of Roth. After getting home from the fight, she then saw the carving which gave her flashback of how Roth died. Still sobbing, she heard footsteps. It was Jonah and Zip. Jonah asked about why things were scattered, and she replied she is going to burn them. Zip doesn't seem to agree with her on that, but Jonah agreed, saying if that what she need to restart her life. Sleeping, Lara is still having flashback of Roth death in her dream. In the museum, Lara is going to auction her late dad artifact she left sadly. Lara noticed someone trying to steal the carvings, tried to fight him off, but he escaped in a motorcycle. Lara then followed him with a car. The chase got intense, which then saw Lara using a bicycle because the car couldn't make some turns in the village. Lara lost him. She then went back home. She then entered into a secret place, turning on the power to the house. She then went looking for the box. Zip was able to check the location because he stick tracking device on all her items in the house. The next scene then showed us what the box is capable of. It can be used to command people into doing things they don't want. Lara is on a boat looking for the box thief. She saw an old woman who seemed to know about things happening. Suddenly Jonah showed up, and seems Lara don't like his presence. Jonah brought Lara to the old woman, Ening, saying he told her a little about Lara. Ening said she will give Lara a guide to the sacred shrine, but only if Lara help her first. Lara said she doesn't have time for all that. Then Jonah informed her about the 6 missing children. Ening then take Lara and Jonah to Huli Jing, who said it a fox spirit. Lara interpreted what Ening said to Jonah, saying she believed Daji took the children and brought them there. Lara also said Daji is connected to the ruby box, the same legend the thief is chasing. Lara went down a big hole. Jonah followed through. They both went climbing looking for the missing kids. A big fox then started attacking Jonah and Lara, which they both run for their life. Lara saw some drawings on the wall which she interpreted to be ruby stone. She found out Daji gave the stone to the sisters of Nuwa to hide it away forever. Jonah asked what it had to do with the missing kids. She responded saying it not about the boxes, but what is inside. Lara then found the ruby box, but the ruby stone was missing. Jonah called Lara, pointing at a direction, and they saw a child looking at them. The child passed through a narrow space which Lara followed. Lara saw all the 6 children standing lifeless. She tried escaping in the space with the child, but it didn't work. Then she saw Daji's coffin, which she interpreted what was drawn there. Daji was asking for help, so Lara released her. After Daji's release, the whole children woke up. Lara, with the help of Jonah, escaped with all 6. Lara then asked Daji for help. A bright yellow light shined. Lara then stick her hand inside it, removing a stone, which then helped to make way for them. The children then went back to their families. Ening then tried to offer Lara the guide to the shrine, but Lara turned it down after she find out the person she was going there for doesn't have what she need. On their way going home, a huge wave formed, seeing Lara and Jonah going separate ways after the disaster. Lara couldn't find Jonah, therefore concluding he didn't survive. Lara noticed a knife on her neck. It was the thief. He looks tired. He asked for the stone. Lara pretended she has it by throwing the empty ruby box into the river, telling him to fetch it. She did that so she could get away from him. Lara called Zip, telling him the bad news about Jonah's death. Zip went to meet Lara in Beijing despite telling him to stay at home. They went into the Beijing library where artifacts are being repaired or returned. They met Eva. Then Lara showed her the Sword of Divinity. She asked Eva about information of the Peril Stones. Lara asked Eva what happens if the Peril Stones are ever found again. She replied saying the Peril Stones doesn't exist. Zip and Lara did more research, which led to Lara spying in a house. Lara then went to drink coffee, and the flashback of Jonah death was playing in her head. She heard a huge bang on her table. It's the thief with the empty ruby box. Lara asked him who he is and why is he collecting the Peril Stones. He said he is Charles Devereaux. Charles then told Lara about the death of her father. She became angry and was quickly informed his father was also killed. She apologized. Charles then told Lara they both have something in common. Charles and Lara had a misunderstanding which led to Lara spilling coffee all over his face. As she was leaving the coffee shop, Charles told her to stay out of his way. Lara received a call from Zip saying he figured out where the ruby stone is being kept. On her way going back, Lara noticed she was being followed. Looks like the spy was sent by Charles. Lara then went into the house she spied on, looking for the ruby stone. Lara snuck into Kaya's room, who Zip supposedly said is with the ruby stone. Lara broke a safe, but didn't find the stone. Lara heard voices, so she went hiding. There is a problem. Kaya is wearing the ruby stone. Lara came up with a new plan. She used the tiger to create distraction just so she could steal the ruby stone from Kaya. Lara isn't in control of herself anymore. She threw the sword away which contained the ruby stone, and she started to get herself. Kaya came looking for her. Before Kaya was able to hit Lara, she detached the ruby stone from the sword and placed the stone inside the ruby box. Kaya told her men to stand on and Lara to get the ruby box away from her, then telling Lara the ruby box will curse her. Lara, on getting home, found her door broken. She looked and saw Zip on the ground. She rushed to help him. Getting to him, someone hit her with a stick on her head. She fell and looked back. It was Jonah. Charles commanded him to do that using the first box he stole from Lara. Charles combined the two stones together, and there was a huge bang. The whole place is on fire. Lara then broke into the head of Interpol house, looking into Charles' childhood, trying to see what corrupt him. The head of Interpol then interrupted, pointing a gun at her. It's Roth's daughter. They both started doing research about Charles Devereaux. They first went to his father's church looking for clues. Seeing it more like a catacombs, Lara and Camilla found a secret passage and searched for more clues. They had to split up another to cover more grounds. Lara found something. Camilla and Lara was both chased by cultists, as said by Camilla. Looking back, Camilla saw a skull with pictures around them. Lara then found out the lights approached. Charles' father to buy the church, but he refused. He wanted the church to be a place for the homeless. They killed him and take it. Lara found out Charles grew up in the church all his life, saying he would have seen the story of the stone and its last resting place. She knows Charles is going to Iran, so she packed her things. Charles reached Iran with Jonah. The remaining episodes will be available next week, so kindly subscribe to get updated. Thanks for watching and goodbye.